New year, new me? Cute. But how about new year, new money? With Experian, you can actually take control of your finances, check your FICO score, find ways to save, and get matched with credit card offers, giving you time to power through those New Year's goals you know you're going to crush. Start the year off right. Download the Experian app. Based on FICO Score 8 model. Offers and approval not guaranteed. Eligibility requirements and terms apply. Subject to credit check, which may impact your credit scores. Offers not available in all states. See Experian.com for details.
Experian. Rain-X wipers are the #1 wiper blades in America. That means all kinds of drivers choose Rain-X. Big drivers in small cars choose Rain-X. Small drivers in big cars choose Rain-X. Drivers with long hair and short commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with short hair and long commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with pets on board, babies on board, and bored babies on board choose Rain-X. Basically, drivers who love a clear view of the road all choose Rain-X wipers, the #1 wiper blades in America.
While the conversation centered around the Eagles' offense this offseason will be about A.J. Brown and whether he'll be here or not, it might not be the most important question of the offseason. That's left to be answered, at least. Welcome to the Eagles Checkdown, the fastest under 10-minute Eagles podcast there is. Cover news, notes, and opinions on your favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles, jointly produced here by the Eagles Pinball Podcast Network and the STT Sports Network over on YouTube. Guys, it's free to do it. Wherever you're watching or listening to this, click the buttons that are on your screen. Like, share, subscribe, follow. You know, you name it, you do it. It's free to do. It's free to support your local content creators and the STT Sports Network and the Eagles Pinball, two of the best doing it out there. So make sure you guys are helping out. I am Phil Stiefel. And yesterday we talked a little bit about the defense and some of the theories and topics that we're going to be talking about all offseason long. And while the Super Bowl is a couple days away, and I'm not excited for it. I just can't be excited for it. All I'm focused on is the Eagles offseason. It's the NBA trade deadline, and I'm focused on the Eagles. Now, we covered defense yesterday, but there's as many questions, if not more complicated questions, surrounding the Eagles offense. Now, what do we know right now? We do know that the Eagles have hired Sean Mannion to be their new offensive coordinator. We do know they have added Josh Grizzard to the staff as the passing game coordinator. We don't know who the running game coordinator is going to be. We don't know which coaches are staying and not staying. But we've got some serious questions. And we have more free agents on the offensive side than defense. Defense, there's 9 free agents. Well, there's 10 free agents, offensively speaking. So let's run through them real quick. These are your offensive free agents for the Eagles. Third-string quarterback Sam Howell is a free agent. A.J. Dillon, who didn't really play much, is a free agent. Ben Van Sumeren, coming off of a devastating injury that made him miss the entire season. He is a free agent. Jahan Dotson, our third/slot wide receiver, free agent. All 3 tight ends, Dallas Goedert, Grant Calcaterra, and Kylan Granson, all free agents. And 3 key backups on the offensive line, Fred Johnson, Matt Pryor, and Brett Toth, all free agents. I didn't mention A.J. Brown's name because he's not a free agent. He is still here. So let's look at this offense. Let's prioritize. Sam Howell, you could get a third-string quarterback anywhere. But what they do with Tanner McKee, whether they trade him or keep him, will determine. Tanner McKee will be going into the last year of his rookie deal. I expect Tanner McKee to get traded. It's not going to affect the salary cap. We've got about $10 million in cap space at this moment. Tanner McKee doesn't really help or hurt. It just draft capitals is what you're looking at there in the Tanner McKee situation and what you do with quarterback 2 or quarterback 3. The offensive line and the free agents on the offensive line, Fred Johnson, Matt Pryor, Brett Toth. Fred Johnson, love him, but he's going to want to start again. You better do a better job replacing him so you don't got to bring him back in. Matt Pryor, he's as good as gone, in my opinion. Brett Toth is an interesting one. He did okay filling in for Cam Jurgens and Landon Dickerson and Tyler Steen at times throughout the season. He's not good. He's not bad. Obviously, Jeff Stoutland loves him for some reason, but they did bring in Willie Lampkin to be that backup center to Cam Jurgens, and he'll have the whole offseason. They did draft Miles Hinton or Drew Kendall to be that as well. So they've got options there. Brett Toth, though, he's an interesting depth piece. It would really determine whether they feel high on someone like Cam Williams and Holland Pierce and Drake Majors and Miles Hinton, whether they let Brett Toth go. But you've got to start thinking about Lane Johnson and what his situation. He obviously missed the last 9 games of the season. He's getting older. what do you do? Is he even going to want to play next year? I expect him to play. But you got to start planning for the future there. And I do expect them to do that and invest a high draft pick in a tackle, which means the rest of your offensive line is going to be with what you've got, in that depth department there. Then comes tight end. What do you do with tight end? Now, Dallas Goedert, well, let's go backwards, okay? Let's work backwards with tight end. Kylan Granson, cool, whatever. You can replace him, dime a dozen, right? Grant Calcaterra, you know what? You played out your whole rookie contract. You never took advantage of the opportunities given when Dallas Goedert, who has a massive injury history, does get hurt. Now, he stayed mostly healthy this year, Dallas Goedert. What do? He is a free agent right now. Obviously, that's what we're talking about. But if he signs elsewhere, he has a $20 million dead cap hit. We've only got about $10 million in cap. Can they find a way to keep Dallas Goedert? Is it worth finding a way to keep Dallas Goedert just solely to cut back on that $20 million dead cap hit? How he works the magic, with the money. You get him a 3-year deal, $35 million, $36 million. Lower that cap hit from 20 down to 8 or 10 this year. Now you've just freed up. Now you've just doubled or more your available cap space. And I think that's a very interesting situation and how it plays out. They're going to draft a tight end. I do not believe in drafting tight ends early in draft, first, second round. The draft is not as deep as it was last year. Last year was the year to draft a tight end, maybe move on from a Calcaterra, not sign a Granson. We'd be in a different situation right now, but you're not. So you're going to have to consider overpaying someone like Dallas Goedert to keep him around, and it'll save you on the dead cap hit, but, you might be paying more than you want for somebody that this is the first time he basically stayed healthy all year. So I don't know what they do there, but I do think they should find a way to keep Dallas Goedert. Obviously, there is the A.J. Brown situation. He's not a free agent. Will he get traded? Will he not? Obviously, Jahan Dotson is a free agent. Well, you better figure out the A.J. Brown situation, because if you lose Jahan Dotson and you trade A.J. Brown because he's so disgruntled, you're left with Devontae Smith, Johnny Wilson, Darius Cooper, and Britton Covey, Quez Watkins on the practice squad on a reserves future deal. To go from A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Jahan Dotson, to go to Devontae Smith, Darius Cooper, and Quez Watkins, that's a massive difference in your wide receiver room. So they better find a way to keep him. But what I'll say is the dead cap hit of $42 or $43 million will not be the determining factor. It'll be, will a team be willing to give us a second-round pick plus or a first-round pick for A.J. Brown? If not, he's going to be back, and they're going to find a way to figure it out. Now, the offense versus the defense is where the salary cap help will come from. Jalen Hurts could get extended, lowering his $30+ million cap hit. Maybe Lane Johnson, for the 47th time, lower his cap hit. Maybe Jordan Mailata gets an extension or a renegotiation to save some cap. The cap savings, so you could pay the Jalen Carters, the Jordan Davises of the world, the Jalen Phillips, or whoever on defense, comes specifically from what they do on the offensive side of things. So I think where there's more free agents, the defense is helped or fixed or gets their money spent by the renegotiations and the free agents on the offensive side. They work hand in hand. And we knew number one cost, offense in the NFL last year was like 31st or 30th in money spent on defense. We know that that's going to flip-flop a little bit and start to go the other direction. So you got to get younger talent, maybe draft a wide receiver in the first or second round with a tackle and, whatnot. That is what they got to do so that you can start paying those defensive players. So you're going to start seeing the money go offense to defense this year and in the years to follow. So that's what I got right there. That's what I think is the basic general plan. But I think it starts with signing Dallas Goedert to some form of a contract to lower his cap hit this upcoming year. And then you move from there. It's Dallas Goedert 1. Then it's figuring out A.J. Brown. Then it's figuring out the offensive line. That's what the offense is. That should be the game plan for Howie Roseman. We'll see how it plays out. But for now, we'll talk tomorrow. Everybody have a great day. Like, share, subscribe, follow. Go Birds, and Bubbles Up.
When you want your spring break to feel like... and your kids' pool day to feel like... And your hotel bed to feel like... Ooh, and room service to feel like... Because at Hilton, hospitality feels like...
Your cabana's ready. Would you like fresh towels?
It matters where you stay. Book now at Hilton.com. Hilton, for the stay.
The world moves fast. Your workday, even faster. Pitching products, drafting reports, analyzing data. Microsoft 365 Copilot is your AI assistant for work. Built into Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and other Microsoft 365 apps you use. Helping you quickly write, analyze, create, and summarize. So you can cut through clutter and clear a path to your best work. Learn more at Microsoft.com/M365 Copilot.
TaxAct understands you haven't memorized the tax code. That's why TaxAct has live experts to help. TaxAct can even do it for you if you prefer. It's the easiest way to know you're doing it right. Well, other than going back to college and obtaining a bachelor's degree in accounting with a minor in finance, then interning somewhere and becoming fluent in all tax forms. But that might be hard to accomplish before tax day. So maybe just stick with TaxAct. TaxAct. Let's get them over with.
Support for Fans First Sports Network comes from Big Fork Brands, bringing bold bacon sausage, paleo pork jerky, and Chicago-style sauces to your table. Enjoy rich, smoky flavors made with sustainable ingredients and chef-crafted care. Big Fork uses 100% heritage hogs raised outdoors without antibiotics and has been featured by Food and Wine, the Chicago Tribune, and QVC for their bold flavors. Listeners, visit bigforkbrands.com and receive 20% off at checkout using promo code FFSN. Bigforkbrands.com, promo code FFSN. Thank you for your support of this show.